Harry Bath might be the greatest Australian forward who never wore the green and gold. He won a premiership in every single season he played first grade in Sydney, kicked 8 from 8 in the grand final, and in his final game, the 1959 decider, he walked off the SCG, sent off alongside Manly hardman Rex Mossop. But his legend wasn't forged in Sydney. It was built in England, where he became the brains behind one of the most devastating eras the Northern Game ever saw. This is the story of the Old Fox, Harry Bath. From the smoky suburban grounds of Brisbane to a record deal at Barrow, to packed crowds at Warrington, to returning home and winning 3 straight premierships with St George, Bath shaped rugby league on 2 continents. Let's go back to where it all began. Alfred Henry Bath was born in Brisbane in 1924. A natural, tough teenage forward, he debuted in Brisbane A grade at just 16 for Souths, and by 1945 had already helped them to a premiership. Queensland selectors came calling. He was clever, rugged, and could hurt you with his hands, his defence, or that beautifully smooth goal-kicking boot. In 1946, he headed south to test himself in Sydney, joining Balmain, and playing in their 1946 and 1947 premiership sides, and gaining state selection. Twice, Bath was on the verge of Australian selection. Both times, injury made him unavailable. Then came the moment that changed his life. In July 1947, newspapers announced Bath had signed an £800 a year, 4-season deal with English club Barrow. Astonishing money in post-war Australia, where players were still juggling day jobs just to survive. Barrow thought they'd secured a franchise player. They were wrong. Bath played just 18 games before a bigger northern giant made their move. Warrington, already a Lancashire powerhouse, swooped and signed him almost immediately. It was a masterstroke. Bath transformed their forward pack into a disciplined, organised, brilliantly aggressive unit. He became the architect of the entire team, the on-field general, the organiser, the kicker, the tactical mind. And waiting outside him was the greatest try scorer rugby league has ever known, Brian Bevan. Bath orchestrated, Bevan executed. Together, they ripped English defences to shreds for a decade. Fans called Bath the Old Fox, a forward who thought 3 players ahead. Between 1948 and 1957, he played 346 first-class games, scored 90 tries, kicked 812 goals, and racked up 1,894 points. Under his influence, Warrington claimed Challenge Cup titles in 1950 and 1954, championship titles 1948 and 1954-5, multiple deep finals runs at Wilderspool, and a team identity built on Bath's toughness and football IQ. He even represented other nationalities a dozen times in the European Championship, a sign of just how elite he was. By 1957, he finally returned back to Australia. Balmain, amazingly, thought he was too old. St George, in the middle of building their famous 11-year dynasty, didn't hesitate. Bath slotted straight into the side, and in 1957, 58 and 59, he helped the Dragons win 3 consecutive premierships, scoring more than 500 points along the way. His final game? The brutal 1959 grand final, walking off after that famous double send-off with Rex Mossop. A perfect full stop on an extraordinary playing career. But Harry Bath wasn't finished. He coached Balmain to grand finals in 1964 and 1966, then took charge of Australia, leading the Kangaroos to World Cup victories in 1968 and 1970. Returning to St George, he built a young side known as Bath's Babes, winning premierships in 1977 and 1979, completing one of the most influential dual playing and coaching careers rugby league has ever seen. Harry Bath never wore the green and gold. Fate denied him twice. But he stamped himself onto 4 clubs, 2 continents, 2 World Cups, and 2 eras of St George greatness. The old fox didn't need a test jersey to prove his greatness. His legacy lives in Balmain, at Barrow and Warrington, and in the heart of the Dragons' proudest years. If you enjoyed this story, keep an eye out for more video drops each week, and for more legends like Bath and Bevan, dive into the Australian Legends Who Ruled British Rugby League playlist in the comments. I'll leave you with that thought.